What's up everyone, this is ThePrinceOfCards, Evidence here, and as you can see this is not the normal, the card guys. They were looking for some video help and I was down to support them. Personally, if you want to know about my channel, one there'll be in probably around somewhere around here I'll put a link to my channel, but also just tell you about it. Personally me, I'm a player that's mainly likes to play for competitive, but I also like to help out all players, new players, players that continue to play. And I'm just also looking to have a lot of fun. So for today, for you guys, I'm going to be showing you guys one of my Inzektor deck profiles that I'm working on for a while. Personally, if you know my channel, I have been playing Inzektors since they came out. I played them for a long time, took a break for them, and I decided to rebuild them. I also played Inzektordolls for a while, and I decided to kind of mix the two together, and this is the build that I came up with. So again, thank you to the card guys for letting me on your channel, and we'll get right into the deck profile. So starting off with the first monster, I play 3 copies of Inzektor Centipede, and what this card does, it says, you can equip any Inzektor from your hand or graveyard to this card, and with all the Inzektors, any of those, they have that effect, and it does not target, so which is actually pretty cool. And it says for this one though, it is when an Inzektor card or any equipped card actually is detached from this card, you get to add any Inzektor card from your deck to your hand. So here's your main search of the deck, and a nice beat stick when being 1600, and then with all the equipped cards, it gains attack. Then I play 3 copies of Ladybug. I still think you need to play 3 of this card, and what Ladybug does is your level manipulator. Obviously has the effect of being able to equip any Inzektor, but it says you can send this equipped card to the graveyard to target one monster on the field. Does not have to be the monster that it was equipped to. And you can increase its level up to 2, so that's 1 or 2. And also when it is equipped to a monster, it is levels increased by 2, and it gains 500 attack. Then for the 1-of Inzektors, I play 1 Dragonfly, obviously that 1 being your special summoner of the deck, and I play 1 copy of Hornet, being the monster that blows up everything. These are the 2 cards that get the shenanigans going, being able to increase the monster by 3, but also you can send it to the graveyard to destroy any card on the field. Then I also play 1 copy of Inzektor Gigamantis, being able to immediately equip to any Inzektor monster. And also the fact that this is when this equipped card is into the graveyard, you get to special summon 1 Inzektor from your graveyard. And the last is 1 copy of Inzektor Hopper. This is mainly your beat stick, but it also says when this card is equipped to any monster, you can send it to the graveyard, and that monster can attack directly, but it can only monster that can attack this turn. And you can't activate this effect on the first turn, so when you can't attack. So that's the only bad thing about it. And so that's it for the Inzektor monsters. Now lining up to the Inzektordolls. I only play 4. I was originally playing 8, but I found the problem of me drawing into too many normal summon monsters. So I play 1 copy of Squamata, 1 copy of Dragon, 2 Beast. I found these are the best ones. I don't really want to use Hedgehog or Falco because I just found them, you really don't want these in your hand. So Hedgehog was really useless. And Falco, you really don't want to take up a monster spot. You're not synchroing in this deck, so it's really not that important to have it. And just these are really good. What's good about Squamata is the fact that you can use 1 for Mathematician to be able to send a Beast if you need to. It also allows you to fuel your grave up for plays like Dark Armor and BLS. And Dragon just being able to destroy back row is really good, and Beast being able to get to your key pieces is really nice. And I'll explain a little bit later when we get to some other cards on why it's even really good to play Inzektordolls in this deck. Then I play 3 copies of Mathematician. Mathematician is pretty much the card that you want to see first turn if it's not Centipede, and sometimes you would actually rather see this because being able to get the net 1 of the destroy effect is really good. Then I also play for my boss monsters is 1 Dark Arm and 1 BLS. These are your main boss monsters of the deck and help you really easily OTK. And to go with the BLS, I do play 2 copies of Effect Veiler. I really like this card, this format, even though it's not really good against that Clifford matchup, but it's really good against the Burning Abyss matchup. And it also supplies you for Lights or Shaddoll Fusion, which is nice, besides the fact it's for BLS. And it's also good against the Tellarknight matchup, which is pretty popular now. Now going on to the spells, I play 3 copies of Upstart Goblin, just being able to speed through the deck as fast as possible, 2 copies of Pot of Duality, and 1 copy of Allure of Darkness. These are your draw power and pretty much help you get through the deck as fast as possible. What's really good about Allure is the fact that you can banish cards like Inzektor Centipede if you draw too many of them, and using Dragonfly you can make cards like Leviair, and you can easily get them back into your plays, so Allure is really good in this deck. Then I play 3 copies of Mystical Stay Typhoon. This is a must in this deck. Being able to destroy back row is very important, and you can also use this card to destroy your own cards like Inzektor Gigamantis or your Inzektor Sword to trigger your other Inzektors like Inzektor Dragonfly or Inzektor Centipede, which is really good about this card, and it is a definite 3 of in this deck. Then for our Inzektor support, I play 2 copies of Inzektor Sword, and you can equip it to any Inzektor monster you control. It gains 800 attack, and a mandatory effect is really good about this is when this card is sent to the graveyard, add one target Inzektor in your grave and add it to your hand. It has to be a monster, and it's really good because it's mandatory. So that means that you can doesn't miss timing, but and all like that, and it allows you to add stuff like Inzektor Gigaman's back, and you can equip it to another monster and go off with more plays. Then I play 2 copies of Stall Fusion, and this is what we're really going to get into. So what's really good about this card is the fact that you can make some really good plays with being able to, 1, foolish from your main deck cards like Inzektor Hornet and Inzektor Dragonfly, your 2 most important cards, and you're able to make cards like Window, which is really strong against a lot of rogue decks, and it is still pretty good in the meta right now, put in the right position. And I just really like the fact that, 1, you say if you have a Dragonfly but you don't have the Hornet, you can Stall Fusion, send the Hornet to your graveyard, maybe with a Beast or something, or a Dragon, destroy a back row, and then you can bring out the Dragonfly, and then you can use your own Hornet to destroy your own Window, and then you can continue your plays of going off, and you still get the Stall Fusion back to protect you for next turn if you can OTK, or for some odd reason. And then for the 1-ups now, I do play 1 Foolish Burial, I play 1 Raigeki, and 1 Soul Charge. These 3 are just must combined with the Allure of Darkness. They're really good. This is really good in particular for the fact that Hornet is the best card. As long as you get into the grave, you're usually in a good position. And Raigeki, you want to get this card because you want to be able to get rid of those Majesties, Vanities, Fiends. It's the easiest out to those type of cards and works really well. And Soul Charge is just too good in this deck. Bringing back 1 Dragonfly by itself is just absolutely amazing. So that's it for the spells. A huge spell lineup. We're going into my small trap lineup. I play 2 copies of Call the Haunted and 1 copy of Compulse. With a lot of people playing Night Beam and MST, I really did not want to have too many back row that were just not that good, and I wanted to have cards that were chainable, worst comes to worst. So being all chainable in some type of way, being able to obviously compulse a monster away, or being able to call something back like a Stall monster and be able to get its effect is really good. You can also use these back to use your fusions if you're not going to be using it for your sectors, and some of your extract monsters like your fusions are really good to bring back. And Compulse, I decided to play this over Book of Moon because I found this was just a lot better overall card, and testing it works well against a lot of decks. And so that's it for the main deck. A total of 40 cards, obviously. We are now getting into the side deck. Starting off with the rank 3s, I play 1 Mech Equip Engineer. This card just mainly protect you. I played it over Zen Mains and Fortune Tune because I just like it even more. The fact that a lot of times what will happen is if you couldn't continue your OTK, usually you have a Dragonfly equipped with a sword, and you'll have this on the field, say with 2 other level 3s and that were under it. And what you pretty much have is the fact that you're always going to make sure that you're getting Dragonfly, either 1 stay on the field or 2 have it next turn, for the fact that you can protect it with Mech Equipped, and you also have the fact there's a sword attached to it. So it's really good in that situation a lot, and I really like it for that reason. Then I play 1 copy of Levier. This is probably the card that you make probably the most for the fact that you set up a lot of plays with Allure of Darkness, and also the fact that people know that once you get rid of Hornet, once you get rid of Dragonfly, it's really hard for you to come back. So this card is really, really important. You have to make sure that this card goes off. Then I play 1 copy of Ghost Trick Alucard. This is really good against some of the Shadal matches, which I see still at my locals. Being able to destroy Set Falco late game is really good, and I just like it for that reason, and also just get rid of back row any situation. 1 copy of Giga Brilliant, which allows you just to pretty much continue your OTK plays. Then I put 1 copy of Leviathan, 1 copy of Acid Golem. Acid Golem's really good under skill drain, so that's really good. And Leviathan, I like it over Dante, which you may be surprised about, but there's some situations where I just don't want to mill, because a lot of times when you're making cards like this, you're usually going for more of your push play, and you want to be able to keep your sectors in deck so you can bring them out with Dragonfly, and you don't mill too many. And I just like it that better. And usually late game, if you're going to be making this, you're going to be milling spells anyway if you're not milling monsters, and I just don't see the benefit to it. If I was playing a tour guide engine with maybe Skarm, I'd think about playing Dante, but unfortunately I just don't see the reason for it with Mathematician and Sangan not being a card. So that's it for the rank 3s. Now going on to the 4s. I only play 1, which is usually Castel, but with the next rank 5 that I play, I only play Evil Storm Exotonite, and because of that next card, it does replace it. There's situations where it rarely comes up, but you do want to have it. The one card that replaced the Castel is Exostag. The reason why I decided to play this is the fact that 1, it's an Inzektor monster, 2, it allows you to grab stuff from the grave. What this card does is pretty much, it's 2 level 5 insect-type monsters, and once returned, you can detach an XE material from this card. You can target a monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard and equip it to this card. This card's attack and defense become equal to half of the attack and defense of the monster that is equipped to. And a lot of situations what you'll do, like particularly at my last event, I was able to take a Yang Zing monster because I knew that if I destroyed it, he would take it, get another monster on the field, and wouldn't be able to OTK. So I was able to take it and then equip over it a Gaia Dragon and be able to go through my push plays. So it's a really good card for that reason, and the fact that you can equip cards like Inzektor Sword to it, Inzektor Ginga Mantis, actually makes it pretty beefy. So like say if your opponent has like a BLS on the field or in the graveyard, and one gains 1500, you then equip a sword to it, and you equip like a Ginga Mantis to it, like you're getting really good attacks and really high attacks with this card. So it does definitely surprise your opponent sometimes. So that's the reason why I like it over Castel. Then I play one copy of Shark Fortress, just being able to continue your plays is really good. A lot of times, like you'll set up a play like for this and Giga Brilliant, so this becomes 2700, and Giga Brilliant is 21. So now you can make this attack twice with 27, and the 21 is just really, really good. And then I play one copy of Volcasaurus, which allows you obviously to easily go for game for so many annoying plays, and the last is one Gaia Dragon for my Xyz monsters. And now moving on my fusions, I only play 4 of them, being the 2 copies of Winda. This card you're going to make the most. You want to have it so you can foolish easily your Hornet or your Dragonfly. I play 1 copy of Construct. You played 3 lights, but you really don't want to be using it for Construct. I definitely wanted to include this card because I find this card is really strong and it wins a lot of games. And the fact that once you get one with the Call of the Haunted and the Soul Charge, you can pretty much keep it alive really easily. It's a really good card. And then 1 copy of the Earth Shekanagra, however you pronounce it. I find this card just really good for the situation. The fact is it's a 3k defense, and there is some situations where you will draw your stalls before, after the fact that you summon this, so you still want to be able to, you can still use its effect, which is really good. So now I'm going to show you guys a side deck. This side deck is, I'm definitely not saying the most perfect side deck, but it is a side deck that works for me. There is some couple of changes that I would make, and possibly for the next time, but this is a basic side deck that for budget players or for players that have to work with certain cards, it works really well. So starting off is 2 Flying Sea. This is a card really good against the Burning Abyss matchup. I was thinking about playing 3 of it, but last minute I changed it to 2. Then I play, for spells, 2 copy of Twister, and that's the only spell I play. And then moving on to the traps, 2 copies of Dust Tornado. I did not have Fairy Wind, so I thought this was just a better option. Also, the fact that they're almost a little bit more versatile. I like Twister a lot. Twister's been a card that I've been using a while in Inzektors. And the reason, the fact is, I was afraid of Skill Drain in cards like Shadow Prince Mirror. And the fact is, you want to make sure that your plays go off that turn you can OTK. And cards like Dust Tornado are a little too slow, because the situation, if you do draw it, or if it's in your hand and it isn't set, or there's cards like Royal Decree, or whatever the situation may be, and you need to get rid of a card, Twister is that card to combat it. And even though you pay the 500, usually it's not that big of a deal. And you still play triple MST to destroy set cards, and you have the double Dust Tornado. Then for other traps, I play 2 Vanity's Emptiness. This card's really for the Stalls or anything that special summons a lot, and it works really well. And I play 2 copies of Light Imprisoned Mirror. This is stop the Telenites and just any matches that play lights. And then for probably like one of the most notorious cards in Stalls is 3 copies of Threatening Roar. The reason why I'm not maining this is for the fact that people, as I said before, are playing a lot of back row hate like Night Beam, MST. And even though MST really doesn't affect this card because it is chainable, the only problem with that is you really don't want to waste a Threatening Roar in a situation where it's not that important. And I just didn't want to have to be like, okay, let's set it, and I only have, let's say, like a Mathematician, because there's no point of keeping this card in your hand usually. And if they have an MST, they're gonna use it, or a Night Beam, they're gonna use it, especially against this deck, because they know you play cards like this and just like really pesky cards that are really annoying. So they want to make sure you don't have stuff to pop. And I was just running into the situation too many times. I was like, set a Threatening Roar, and I was like immediately MST'd or draw a Night Beam. Then I was like, okay, well, there's no point in me playing this turn 1 because it's just a dead draw half the time. So maybe we side it in game 2, and my opponent won't think too much. And it also is really good if you're going to the time. You have this card, and you can easily OTK. And then for my 2 1-ups of traps, I play 1 copy of Soul Drain, and then 1 copy of Bottomless Trap Hole. Soul Drain is really good in this deck because it does not affect any of the Inzektor monsters. It's really good in the Shadol match. You can easily set out your Shadolls because you really don't want to do that in the mirror match, since you don't really have too many powerful ways to search out your beast and to set it over the Shadol fusions. And you really don't want all the times use your Hornet to pop your own monster, because you're still not getting anywhere with it, and you don't get to use it on your opponent's monsters. So usually you could side out your Shadol lineup in the mirror match, you side this in, And the Inzektor effects all activate on the field, and they tribute as cost, and they resolve in the graveyard. So Soul Drain does not stop it because it only stop effects that activate in the graveyard. And so that's really it. And the Monos is really good against the Cliffort matchup or just a lot of rogue matches. I didn't see the reason to play Book of Moon because I am playing the 2 Flying Sea. And with a triple threatening war, it's actually really powerful because you can easily stop their OTKs and keep your monsters on the field, which is really nice. So that is it for my Inzektor deck profile. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Remember to go check out my channel. It is called ThePrinceOfCards. As I said, there will probably be a link in the description. Somewhere in this video, you'll see a link, or just check in the description down below. And that's really it. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you, the card guys, for letting me have a video on your channel. And that's it. Peace.
Thank you for watching the video. Remember to go check in the description down below to check out jjcardstore.com. And if you remember to use the promo code ThePrinceOfCards, you will receive 10% off your next purchase. Also, if you're in the area, go check out 295 Montauk Highway in Spionk, New York, to go check out JJ Card Store. Every Friday at 7 p.m., there will be local box tournaments. Thank you.